Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my predictions and theories and all that type of stuff. Basically a lot of thoughts of mine on Fallout 5. So before I start this video I just want to really put it out there obviously. And let's just talk about Fallout 76 for a bit. Yes, I know Fallout 76 is a really bad game at the time of making this video. I say that because who knows, it might improve, but I really doubt that, but I'm hoping it does, and hopefully in a year back I can look at this intro and go, yeah, the game has definitely improved. But I want to put it out there because I think Bethesda might really take definitely a big break of Fallout right now, because obviously Fallout 76 is an online game, and I think even if the game was bad or not, or like a really good game, they were going to take a break of Fallout anyway, unless it like sold very, very well, which obviously we know it unfortunately didn't, and it actually, I'm pretty sure, failed and didn't live up to what Bethesda was really hoping it was going to end up being. But yeah, I just thought I'd get that out of the way because a lot of people really like to talk a lot of hate about Fallout 76. And yeah, I get it's a bad game, but it gets really boring after a while, and I really don't. It's starting to annoy me, like just listening to hate and hate and hate about all the time. And yeah, I'm really hoping that we can see some positives coming soon with Fallout 76. But basically, getting out of that, getting all that stuff out of the way, I thought Fallout 4 was a really good game, and Fallout 4 to this day is probably actually my favorite game that I've ever played. That and Spider-Man and GTA 5, those are probably my top 3 favorite games that I have ever played, and Fallout 4 will always have a very soft spot in my heart, even though a lot of people do say that Fallout 4 is a bad game. And I get it, yeah, maybe the story's not that good, but in my opinion, definitely one of my favorite games. But what this means for Fallout 5 is, I think Fallout 5 definitely has the chance to be a very great game, and I don't think it's going to be coming for a very long time, and I'll get to that in a second. But basically, I think that Fallout 5 definitely needs to follow in Fallout 4's footsteps, but with a lot of improvements and a lot of things to add, especially for those people who are diehard fans of, you know, dialogue and all of that stuff, and, you know, RPG. Fallout is supposed to be known as an RPG, really. Fallout 3, 4, New Vegas, and 76, but that's where a lot of people dislike Fallout 4 is, because even though it was a great game in many aspects, a lot of people felt like it didn't do too well in, like, an RPG type of way. So I think Fallout 5 needs to have a lot of similar combat and stuff like that to Fallout 4. You know, follow in its footsteps, but like an RPG with better voice dialogue and all that stuff. Way more options. Also, I think it can't be a video talking about Fallout without me talking about Obsidian's new Outer Worlds game. So, as you guys probably know, Obsidian are working on an Outer Worlds game, which is supposed to be coming later this year in 2019. And I think that if we talk about Bethesda, they are also making Starfield, and whether Starfield is a great game or not, and let's just say Starfield is better than the Outer Worlds, people are still going to mock it and say that the Outer Worlds is better just because it's made by Obsidian, because Obsidian do things right, and that's exactly right. They have made Fallout New Vegas, which was one of the best RPGs ever to be made, and a lot of people say that that's what every Fallout game should be. So a lot of people are always going to be biased towards Obsidian either way, and I think Bethesda just need to really not think about that, and especially with Fallout 5 or whatever, people are still going to be talking about how bad Fallout 76 was, unless in the future the game got better, which a lot of people are still going to be talking about how bad it was when it first came out. They just need to ignore that and do it all like an RPG type of way, and then everything should be fine. Also, what I want to talk about is their engine. The engine for Fallout 4 has been pretty much the exact same one every single year, and a lot of people talk about how they should actually change it. I did some digging, and there was one YouTuber or a couple, it was a long time ago, I can't remember their name or the video that I watched, but he actually talked about how Red Dead Redemption 2 uses an engine that's been like one of the engines that Rockstar has that has been used for a very long time. It just gets updated. So I don't think it's a matter of necessarily that Bethesda needs a new engine. Maybe it just needs to be updated a lot better, but yeah, it could be time for a new engine, I do agree. But maybe it might not be the issue. They just really need to get rid of the bugs and glitches, because it was pretty much one of the things that ruined Fallout 76 and made it such a crappy game. I'm only saying one of them because there are a lot of reasons that Fallout 76 was ruined. Anyway, setting for Fallout 5, there's a lot of different settings that a lot of people talk about, and I think that if we're looking at Fallout 5 as in just Fallout 5, not Fallout New Vegas 2, I'm talking about Fallout 5 here. I think Fallout 5, I think it should be set in New York City. I definitely like the idea of New York, just based on the fact that it was set in Washington, which had a lot of big buildings and all of that stuff, but it definitely felt limited, as in Fallout 3. As I said, it was set in Washington. You couldn't exactly go every single place, and I think that Fallout 5, if it was set in New York, there would be much bigger towers and stuff, and you could explore it. It'd be super cool. It'd be like Boston, the main Boston area in Fallout 4, but like triple the size. I think that would be so cool, and just maybe a city version of Fallout would definitely be a little bit interesting, even though we've had a similar type one with a bit of the parts of Fallout 3. I definitely think this would be really cool. Now, factions-wise, I think the Brotherhood of Steel will always have to be included. It's a market for Bethesda, and it's one of the main things that they advertise on. Obviously, the Brotherhood of Steel have been pretty much nearly every single Fallout game from Remembrance. Also, the Enclave was in Fallout 76, blah, blah, blah. You guys get what I mean. Those two factions are pretty much in nearly every single Fallout game, except Enclave was not in Fallout 4. Or, well, it sort of was in Creation Club, but you guys get what I mean. But that's just what I think. I think that the Brotherhood of Steel will be in it anyway, just based on the fact that Bethesda are going to use it for marketing. Also, going back to where Fallout 5 should be set, there are a couple people out there that say it should be taken out of America, but I think that a main series game like Fallout 5, like, you know, you guys get what I mean, right? Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout 5, not a spin-off like Fallout New Vegas. I think a main series game like Fallout 5 should definitely be set in the US. I think they would have to leave it off to a spin-off game like New Vegas or something to take it out of America. There are a couple of different countries that a lot of people would talk about. The main one is obviously either China, because of obviously all the law and stuff that has been with China, and Fallout. And then the other one is, I see so many comments about this, not even from the people that actually live there, but people who really want to see a game there, and that is Australia. Coming from a person that actually lives in Australia, I can tell you that it is nothing like Mad Max. Australia is nothing like Mad Max, okay? Or pretty much Crocodile Dundee for that point. Like, Mad Max really shows a lot of desert and stuff like that. I've never seen anything like that in where I come from. There are a lot of deserts in places like Western Australia, Northern Territory, and all that type of stuff. And Northern Territory definitely could have, you know, it obviously, Northern Territory has so many deserts, I guess, and a lot of people think that Australia is sort of represented like that. So, yeah, I doubt that. I don't really know. I think Australia would be definitely an interesting location to have it, but it just wouldn't really work, because a lot of people picture Australia as that type of, you know, desert, and then there's tropical and all that type of stuff, when in reality, Australia isn't really like that, and it would either be set in either Sydney or Melbourne. So, yeah, I don't really know, but it definitely wouldn't be in Australia. But I could also see maybe a Chinese one, but I also don't really see it being set in China, because I feel like the Chinese people, I don't know if they would really like that or not. I think there would be some maybe backlash with all of that type of stuff, you know. If you guys will get what I mean if you knew the Fallout lore. I think that China wouldn't really be happy if it was set in China. You guys get what I mean. But yeah, I think that it definitely has to remain in America, especially if it is like Fallout, if it is Fallout 5. But if it's a spin-off, I guess maybe it could be in a different country, but I just really can't see it happening. But yeah, going back to factions, I think that, yeah, Brotherhood of Steel will 100% be included. The Enclave, maybe not, I don't know. Institute and that, probably not. I'm guessing they would be releasing a lot of new factions like what they did in Fallout 4 with the Minutemen, the Railroad, and the Institute was definitely like a new faction, but it's not like Synths and that I don't think have been really heard. I'm pretty sure that there was like Synths or something like that in other games. I don't really know, I could be wrong on that, but yeah, basically, I think there would be definitely a lot of different factions, and I could see the Brotherhood of Steel somehow getting into New York. I also could see, like, a similar type of faction like the Minutemen. Obviously, the Minutemen are, you know, they do all the settlements and stuff like that, and that's become such a big part in Fallout now, with a lot of people just loving Fallout 4 because of settlements and all of that type of stuff, and just having a creative space similar to Minecraft, but in a post-apocalyptic world. But, you know, Fallout 76 didn't do it right. It was camps and it's online, so it's pretty hard to have settlements, if you guys know what I mean. But I think settlements in New York would definitely be interesting. We didn't really see too many settlements in, like, the heart of Boston, like in Diamond City and stuff like that. I know there was definitely one or two, but I think that having one in, like, a lot of them in New York would be definitely really cool, as a lot of people can definitely explore and have, like, maybe settlements in actual, like, big towers and stuff like that. I don't know, that would be really cool. I could just, like, really see, like, all these towers being absolutely destroyed, and you have to, like, rebuild the towers, and, having settlers live in that would be something really cool, and I think something that would be definitely different. And obviously, there are some parts of New York that aren't full-on all towers everywhere, so you could have some settlements definitely on the ground, and there will probably be, you know, a Red Rocket settlement, stuff like that, pretty similar to Fallout 4. But I just think, yeah, that would be something definitely a lot different, and yeah, I would definitely really like that. But as factions go, you know, I think there will be definitely Brotherhood of Steel one, definitely one that's very similar to the Minutemen. Who knows, Synths might be, like, really, I don't know if they would be really in the game or not. The Institute probably wouldn't be. It depends when the game is set or whatnot. I think it should be set pretty similar time around Fallout 4, or maybe a little bit after it, considering that, like, Fallout 76 was so much before. I think we definitely need to go into a time where we can rebuild, and we can actually live in the current, you know, the future of what the Fallout's going to be like. And I think really recreating New York or something like that with settlements would be definitely a really cool thing. I know there was, like, I think all up there was like 30 settlements or something in Fallout 4. I think they could definitely expand on that and even double that nearly, with a bunch of different locations and stuff like that. That would be really, really cool, and I definitely think a lot of people would really enjoy that. But I think they really need to focus their time in making a really good RPG game. Definitely a bit better than, obviously, Fallout 4, which I didn't really mind Fallout 4, mainly because I'm not too much into, like, you know, I couldn't really care, like, how big, like, the lines of dialogue were and stuff like that, which a lot of people were complaining about here and there and stuff like that. But I definitely think having more choices, like being evil at the start of the game and actually being able to become a raider, which you couldn't really do in Fallout 4 because you straight away sort of joined the Minutemen. So I think having options like that would definitely be a lot better, and I think a lot of people would definitely be happy by that, by Bethesda. But I think they really need to take their time on Fallout 5, and it's definitely going to be coming in the future, considering Starfield's rumored to be released in about 2020, it looks like, and I think Elder Scrolls will be 2021 or 2022, or even 2023. Who really knows at this point? But let's say we're getting those two games within the next 6 years or so, maybe, like, you know, 2024 to 2025. I would expect Fallout 5 to maybe come out in 2028 maybe, or 2027. Maybe at least 9 to 10 years after Fallout 76. So it's definitely going to be a massive wait. But you guys also got to keep in mind, Starfield is a new creation by Bethesda, and the Elder Scrolls was Bethesda's creation, while Fallout 4, they actually, Fallout, they didn't actually create, and that Fallout was originally owned and made by different people. So I think Bethesda would definitely like to put more time into their own game franchises that they've had since day one, like Starfield. If Starfield's good or not, they will definitely put a lot more time into it. Keep in mind, if Starfield's a really good game, people are going to want a sequel, which could push Fallout 5's date into a lot further down the line. So who knows, if people want a sequel to that game really fast, which probably will happen, it could go from 2027 to 28 to even 2030. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting one, but I think Bethesda would definitely really like to focus on their franchises that they've had since day one. don't know if we'd really be getting an Elder Scrolls 7 if Elder Scrolls 6 is good, considering Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim was an absolute great game and a lot of people loved it. It took them nearly 10 years or whatever to release a sequel, so I don't think they're going to be really rushing another sequel to Elder Scrolls 6 anytime soon. So I think it would be definitely Starfield that they want to rush a sequel out or get a sequel done a lot quicker than Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 7. So you guys get what I mean. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest Fallout content. I'm going to start posting a lot more, hopefully. I don't really know. I'm definitely really busy, and I have another channel, well, another 2 channels, actually, that I have to work on, too. So, you know, it's hard finding time and actually getting time when I'm not busy, but I definitely really wanted to make this video for quite a while, and I definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on what do you guys think Fallout 5 is going to be like. What are you guys' thoughts, your hopes, all that type of stuff. What do you guys think when's the release date going to be? Where do you guys want the game to be set? What time do you want the game to be set in? All that type of stuff. So yeah, just leave a comment with all that type of stuff. And share this video if you enjoyed it. I definitely put a lot of time into it. This video definitely goes for a lot longer than all my other previous videos pretty much. So yeah, I definitely put work into it. So please share it, guys, if you enjoyed it. So yeah, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.